In the eyes of others, this was just an ordinary egg, but in my eyes, it was a tool to escape from prison. I first chiseled a hole in the ceiling, cracked the fresh egg into a bucket, then threw in torn newspapers, added some water and stirred it evenly. Finally, I sprinkled in a large amount of lime and began mixing and kneading it by hand. Thus, a huge dough finally took shape. Its color was almost identical to the ceiling. I carefully shaped it into a square, just enough to cover the hole. To be more secure, I pasted a poster over it. Just then, the prison guards suddenly launched a surprise inspection. My partner downstairs originally wanted to come and warn us, but he was afraid of being exposed by the guards, so he had no choice but to strum the guitar, pretending as if nothing had happened. Soon the guards came upstairs. Hearing the sound of approaching footsteps, we quickly wrapped the fallen plaster with a carpet, swept the dust on the floor clean, and even brushed the dust off our clothes. I knew that if we showed even the slightest flaw, our fate would be cruel, but the more natural we acted, the more suspicious the guards became. Soon, they began a carpet-style search, even tearing down the posters on the walls one by one. Just as they were about to tear down our crucial poster, the leading guard suddenly called him away. The guards found nothing and had no choice but to leave. I let out a long breath, having narrowly escaped for the moment. In fact, the ceiling was not our real escape route. The true escape route was at the corner of the wall. We planned to dig a tunnel 70 meters long there. The reason we made a hole in the ceiling was only to store the soil dug out. Because this tunnel would produce nearly 80 tons of soil, and only above the ceiling could store it, the guards would surely notice during inspections. To cover it up, we found a large container, once again mixed dough, and made a whole fake wall. After it solidified, we placed it over the gap and painted it with homemade white paint. The fake wall was almost indistinguishable from the real one. The guards couldn't detect it at all. As for the soil we dug out, we packed it into bags, secretly carried it to the second floor room, and poured it little by little into the ceiling hole. Although each time we had to reseal the hole, a process both tedious and dangerous, it was the only way to avoid exposure. Soon, 3 months had passed, yet we had only dug 2 meters. The slow progress made me anxious. The strength of just 3 men was far too little. We had to recruit more trustworthy people. After confirming the candidates, I brought them to the wall corner and lifted the secret opening. At that moment, everyone was stunned. Some even trembled with excitement. The temptation of freedom was too great. They agreed to join without hesitation. But just then, an accident happened. One of my companions was caught red-handed by a guard while transporting soil. The guard seemed to sense something unusual and demanded that he open his briefcase for inspection.